Tonight's weather report brought to you by Suncorp Insurance, with you through every storm.
Good evening, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. Tropical rain starting to clear northward. Winds are easing in the south, and by the weekend it looks like we're all going to get to see some sunshine. Good news if your vitamin D levels are running a bit low. For the last of the big falls for our region, we had 159 millimetres at Bulgan Creek overnight, 134 at Low Isles. South Johnson scored 103 mils and Daintree 102. Temperatures today across far north Queensland. Cairns, a high of 31 degrees after a low this morning of 23. Mareeba and Cooktown got to 30. Starting with the satellite loop, now the monsoon is still quite active around far north Queensland with reasonably heavy rain falling in some areas, but it is breaking up, and by tomorrow morning most of it should have moved north of about Cooktown. Meanwhile, you can see some thunderstorms developing inland, but it's a long way west, and also some stream showers reaching the coast from the southeast wind, but they're on their way out as well. Let's have a look at today's chart. Firstly, yesterday's high pressure system that brought the strong winds along the coast is weakening now as it moves out into the Tasman Sea, so we don't have a wind warning anymore. Winds are still reaching 25 knots at times though, and a couple of showers are going onshore. The monsoon trough, of course, is crossing where that old low is sitting. This is tomorrow's chart now. The trough moves a little bit further north, clearing most of the rain from Cairns. Meanwhile, in the southeast, things start to fine up again. Now, the latest from the Weather Bureau, the boating forecast for Cairns waters, southeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots tomorrow, reaching 25 knots at times on Saturday, then back to 15 to 20 for Sunday. Tomorrow's low tides due around lunchtime. The high tides on either side aren't very large and the current's not too strong owing to the half moon. Now, the North Tropical Coast and Tablelands, just a 60% chance of showers tomorrow with some inland thunderstorms. Cairns reaching 31 degrees, Atherton 28, Innisfail 30 and Mareeba 31. Looking ahead for Cairns, conditions next week should be fairly well behaved after a nice weekend with only a modest risk of rainfall. But the monsoon's in a very active phase, so anything could change. For Atherton, also beware. The weekend's looking pretty good and next week doesn't look too bad as well. But it's a very airy-fairy situation. Folks, if you're curious about what happens in the eye of a tropical cyclone, just think of these giant storms as upside-down plug holes in the atmosphere. And by upside down, I mean the air's spiralling into the middle, goes up instead of down. Now, at the centre point where the winds collide, we find a little sanctuary of calm weather and bright sunshine. It's an eerie feeling, as anyone will tell you who's been to Innisfail during Larry or to Tully Heads during Yasi. Now it's over to Scott Hillier with the fishing report.
Yeah, good on you, Livio. Looks like a bit of wind forecast for the weekend. So for those keen to wet a line, rivers and creeks will be your only option. Plenty of fresh in those systems at the moment, so make sure you check the latest conditions before heading out. Here's a couple of tips. Now, those mud crabs will well and truly be on the move. Now, up on the flats, out of the main run and towards the mouths, the place to set a couple of pots. Remember, fresh bait is always best. Be sure to mark all your pots and floats correctly. There's plenty of barramundi getting around at the moment, so be sure to release these fish back into the water as soon as possible with the closure still in force. But it is shaping up for a really good season when things open up at the start of February. Now, young Jasmine Maudsley had a day to remember out fishing with her nan and pop when she caught this monster grunner. Great fish, Jasmine. Now, if you are chasing more outdoor action, make sure you join me Saturday 5:30 on Creek to Coast as I go on the hunt for monster GTs. Good luck if you wet a line. I hope you bend a couple of rods. I'll be back here next Thursday night, 7 News. Have a great weekend.
And thanks for that, Scotty. And that is all from us for tonight. Thanks very much for being with us.
And just a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on this 7plus app. And from all of us here, enjoy your evening and we look forward to you joining us again tomorrow. Good night.